Welcome to the Editor's Note Comics Podcast.
I think that this world, it needs men that are willing to make the hard call.
Central Maine's best comics podcast, by default.
Ain't no thing like me except me.
Here are your hosts, Zach and Jared.
I'm gonna have to come with you. No. When do we start?
Welcome back, everyone, to Nerd Christmas.
We were in Hall H.
I wasn't.
I was in a hall and I put an H on it, so I was in Hall H.
I read a Twitter feed occasionally. I looked at it like every 20 minutes because, I don't need to be there second for second.
That's fair.
This week, we are mostly talking San Diego Comic-Con. It was such a big Comic-Con, that's essentially the show.
I like it.
Not
simple, straightforward, to the point.
Not just the movie news, but also the comics news. We're going to get all of it in there. The television news.
The me news.
You have news?
No, I don't.
Okay. I didn't know where you were going with that.
No, I have no news.
I don't know if you had a special segment for yourself.
No special segments for me.
Until we get to sports.
Exactly. Well, and even then, you've taken that from me.
There's not much to say about basketball. There's Team USA stuff, but it's really not worth talking about yet.
There you go. Thank you. Except for everyone's leaving it.
Yeah, that's the news. Everyone's bailing. So I guess that's the end of basketball talk.
There we go.
Week.
See, I nipped it in the bud. How did you survive the heat in Old Hallowell Day?
Air conditioning.
How was the crowd? Did you have a lot of people stop in?
No, it wasn't crazy. There was a ton of people for the parade, and the second the parade was over, everyone left.
I don't blame them.
That's enough of that.
Yes, agreed.
It was just a normal Saturday. I guess, but if you do want to come shop with me, sometimes, like on last Saturday, superstar artists will just walk in the door and they'll be there for a bit. You never know.
Oh, who was in?
Lee Weeks.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Superstar artist of a couple of decades now. Sometimes if you're in the store, just those things happen.
You never know who's going to be in there. The famous people that walk in and out, like
all
me.
All the time. It happens all the time. So many famed artists just come through on a regular basis. You should probably come shop there.
I show up once a month, usually. You never know.
But we're going to switch up the format a little bit, just because it is also San Diego heavy. So from there, I guess we'll just hop right in to this week in comics history, because our topic is the news.
Yes.
Those are all my notes.
Superhero landing coming up.
This week in comics history.
This week in 2002, not only does it have a real date in the book, but a real date in publication, Why the Last Man happened by Brian K. Vaughan. I'm blanking on the artist's name, that's my fault. But all of the men were killed in the world, except for one man, Yorick. How did he survive this 5-year comic that was pretty fantastic? It's going to be turned into a TV show because that's what should happen, because it's one of the best. The answer is monkey poop.
I don't have to watch the show.
Look, it's monkey poop. Monkey poop saves him.
All right, good to know.
I don't care. This happened in 2002. Spoilers are off. Marvel Comics writer, also television writer, J. Michael Straczynski was born in 1954 in Paterson, New Jersey. What up, New Jersey?
New Jersey rep.
Damn right. When I think of J. Michael Straczynski, I think of him for his run on Amazing Spider-Man and Thor, and I also think he did some writing on some Ninja Turtles cartoons, if memory serves. Didn't double check that, but, quote, that is factual. In 1976, in X-Men number 101, the Phoenix rose from the ashes of some water.
That doesn't make any sense at all, unless the ashes were sprinkled onto the water.
They almost were. Look, it's been retconned a couple of times, but the Phoenix made its first appearance in X-Men 101, rising above going, I am Phoenix, I have a fun new costume. Maybe I'm Jean Grey, maybe I'm not.
There's fire everywhere.
She wasn't Jean Grey. Well, first she was, then she wasn't, and then she was again. And that's how comics work.
Okay, well, it's like a soap opera on paper.
In 1971, in Marvel feature number 1, The Defenders first appeared, made up of Hulk, Doctor Strange, and Namor. Soon to be joined by the Silver Surfer, although not originally. The Defenders has had many iterations and incarnations, including the most recent one based off of the Netflix stuff, which was all canceled. But I don't remember how long it's been out. It's been a little while. I finally finished Jessica Jones.
Yeah?
Not great.
Not good?
Sorry to say. It was one of those things that it was plagued by the length of the season.
Wasn't like season 1 was the best and it kind of went...
Season 1 was amazing. Season 3 was way better than season 2. But it was she was just after one serial killer. I'm like, oh wow, this will be a great first half of a season. Can't wait to see what they do for the second half.
Oh, they stretched it for the whole season?
Oh yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah, they didn't need to do that.
Oof.
Yeah. But at least Luke Cage showed up for 5 minutes. I was like, what are you doing here?
I'm here to...
Good cameo. In 1970, in Marvel Comics, Conan the Barbarian #1 happened.
Steel Steel does not lie, Conan.
A series that went for 275 issues. Just of that, there was also Savage Sword of Conan, and now, very recently, the property has been repurchased by Marvel, and maybe you can get that at your local comic book store.
Ooh.
And, well, this is just confusing,
Oh, boy.
and it means we'll probably have to do it for the show at some point.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. In 1978, this week in 1978, the Japanese Spider-Man premiered. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
Nope.
He has a robot that he gets to do as a mech suit, so he can punch giant monsters. It's kind of bizarre, so that means it's probably going to be an episode we do, realistically, doing Japanese Spider-Man.
Huh.
Have you ever seen Japanese? I've never really seen it.
No. Like anime?
Oh, no, it's live action.
That doesn't make sense.
It's
I need to see a picture.
I mean, the suit looks accurate, but he gets to have a big mech suit like he's Voltron.
Let's see. Japanese Spider-Man. Spider-Man!
Spider-Man! That was my J.K. Simmons.
It's not bad. Oh, Japanese Spider-Crab, Spider-Girl, Spider-Man television series. It's a title credit from it.
Yeah, I mean, the suit looks fine. It's just that he doesn't have anywhere close to the origin, and he has a giant mech suit.
A young motorcycle racer, Takuya Yamashiro, sees a UFO falling to Earth. In fact, a space warship named the Marveler. Takuya's father, Dr. Hiroshi Yamashiro, a space archaeologist, investigates the case but is killed upon finding the spaceship. The incident attracts the attention of Professor Monster and his evil Iron Cross army, an alien group that plans to rule the universe. That's about it.
Yeah, and that's why we're going to have to eventually do one of those.
Oh, boy.
You were also real confident reading those Japanese names that I'm sure were horribly pronounced.
No, I'll show you the names.
No, I appreciate your confidence.
Yeah.
I can't see them.
Takuya Yamashito.
I'll trust you.
Yamashiro.
Cool.
Hiroshi. Hiroshi was easy. And Professor Monster, layup.
Professor Monster, yeah, you got that one.
Yes, I did.
But that's it. It's a short week for this week in comics history, but hey, I really can't affect the past.
You can't go back in time and change it. No, you cannot.
If I could turn back time,
If you could find a way.
I don't know, I'd probably kill
I'm glad that we
Baby
shared
Hitler.
that moment.
I'd probably kill Baby Hitler if I could.
You totally whiffed on that.
I know the song. I started it.
But then
We don't need to do the whole song.
But then I said I'm glad we shared that moment.
You did say that.
Yeah, and you just totally ignored it.
Yeah, killing Baby Hitler instead. Probably just throw him off a cliff so you don't have to do it with your own hands. Let the splat do it. A building would work too.
Oh my God. Okay, moving on.
I mean, not even that big of a building. He's a baby.
Jesus. Okay, man. Thank you.
From there,
Infanticide. I'm glad that's what the topic of the show became.
we are going to move on to the news.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
It's time for the news.
Yeah, newsflash. Zach is a child killer.
Just of Hitler.
That's fair.
Also, didn't do it.
Yeah.
Haven't found time travel yet.
Get to work on that.
Let's open strong. Let's do one of the biggies first, close with a biggie, and we'll do the rest in the middle.
Yes.
The biggie for me, because as much as I love the Marvel movies, and they're mostly fantastic to watch, the way I like my comics is comics.
Yes.
But if there's a way I like my Star Trek, it's TV. Oh, I had so much joy.
That was a wonderful trailer.
It brought me so much joy. We got our first real trailer for Star Trek Picard.
Yes.
Oh.
The couple of things from that trailer for me. The teaser trailer just made it seem really dark and morose and sad.
Yeah.
This was not that at all.
No, it was all uppity.
Yeah.
We got a retired Picard. He's on his winery with number one, his pit bull.
Yes, very cute dog.
But he doesn't really want to be there. It's not quite clicking with him. I am curious what the big rescue mission he made was, because we still don't know what that is.
I think it has to do with the scimitar and the events of Nemesis, because he talked about Data sacrificing his life, and
he did, yeah.
I really think it's that. I think it's that thing.
Is that like the greatest rescue in history? He just beat up like 94-pound Tom Hardy.
No, but he prevented Tom Hardy. He prevented Shinzon from coming to Earth and using that gamma radiation weapon and wiping out the entire planet. I would call that a very big rescue mission.
Yeah, so, he rams them. And then Jonathan Frakes has a really unconvincing fight.
Yes,
That's
with
a thing.
With Ron Perlman.
Yeah, that is Ron Perlman as, oh boy, what's it? Because there was
Viceroy.
Shinzon and...
I think it was just known as the
Viceroy. And Ron Perlman.
Shinzon and Ron Perlman.
So, speaking of Riker, not seen in the trailer, but confirmed at the panel, Riker and Troy will be back.
I like it.
Okay, so we know that he was going to go off and command the Titan.
Yes.
But stop playing with it. I got to take that away from you. It's an old jack. You just keep unplugging it, and you really want to get that male to female plug to click.
Oh my God.
That's what you're doing. But because, I mean, seeing Star Trek Discovery, they really know how to pull on your nostalgia strings.
Yes.
To be able to do the Star Trek stuff now, which, by the way, watch that show. It's so good. Is he going to be... Because basically we know the comic that we read before, Star Trek Countdown, that was canon. It ain't canon anymore. That's out the door.
Goodbye.
Believe me, I enjoyed it for the time that it was canon, because getting that in 2009 and getting just another taste of that world, that was a good taste. It doesn't count anymore, but it was nice having it at the time. How much do you want to bet that Riker is commanding the Enterprise?
Oh, I bet he certainly is. Yes.
Probably, yeah. I'm sure the Enterprise E is going to show up with Riker in command.
E or maybe, F.
There might be a new one. They might want to redesign the E.
It's been 20 years.
I mean, yeah, the E did have... I like the sleekness, but it did have a weird...
Yeah,
it's still a little weird.
Yeah.
But if you want to, touch it up again, do an F, yeah. But that would be my guess. I'm going to guess that Riker will be commanding the Enterprise.
Probably an admiral or something.
Well, then he wouldn't be commanding it.
He could be. Fleet admirals get their own ships. Remember that.
But if we already have Picard that's a retired admiral. Having Riker as an admiral feels like too many admirals.
Oh, it's true. He resisted promotion for some time.
I mean,
maybe he's retired.
He even went to the Enterprise instead of taking his own command. So I think him being out is an important factor for him. So I would be surprised if Riker was an admiral. Radmiral? That's what I was going to say.
A radmiral?
Yeah.
He would be a radmiral.
He's real rad.
Yes.
The way he doesn't sit in chairs properly and plays the trombone.
Wow, wow.
But yeah, so Troy will be with him. Glad that marriage has worked out.
Good for them. We get to see B4 parted out.
We do probably, because I mean we do see that the ship explodes with Data. We don't know what his remains are.
There's no remains. He was vaporized.
No,
dude.
Those are probably the remains of B4, as we saw at the end of Nemesis. If you haven't seen these movies, this is all just gibberish. But Data had uploaded his consciousness into B4, and he was starting to sing that song.
Yes, Blue Skies.
Yeah, it's a good song. It's just in my head now.
There you go.
But then we also see Data at the end of the trailer, which I told you, I called that digital de-aging. They could do it on TV now. How can they do it? Not super well, but I'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
He does look a little weird.
Whatever.
But here's what I was trying to decipher, because we do get Data at the end, and that's obviously the big reveal, and I love that Brent Spiner's in there, and I love that they're taking the time to do it. Is he on the holodeck? Is it a dream, or is it real? And also, if it's real, because this is where I hit a snag, you can't see much of what Data's wearing. You can see the top of a yellow collar. And if you're looking through the trailer, you can see the Star Trek uniform seems to have gone with more of a high collar look. But also B4's costume that they had him in was a yellow suit. So I don't know if it's the yellow suit of B4 or if it's a new Starfleet uniform.
What if they transferred Data's conscious
into lore?
No, not into lore, but into
lore.
And what's to say that might not be lore in the drawer?
It could be. I don't remember where lore ended up.
Lore in the drawer. I don't know. He deactivated him. I know that. But what if they uploaded him into a computer and made him a holodeck program, much like the holo doctors, like the holographic doctors? Just a thought.
Because there is some Voyager in this as well.
Yes, because 7 of 9 is in it.
Yeah, now I have to rewatch Voyager, or really watch it fully for the first time. I used to see a friend of mine used to watch Voyager it was on UPN on Friday nights, I think. I'll say Fridays at 9.
I get the feeling it's going to be a one-season show.
No, they're definitely going to do more.
You think so?
Oh, 100%. I think this is going to up CBS subscriptions in a big way, and they ain't going to shy away from it. Because I also don't think we're going to get all of the cast. I think we're going to get a chunk of it.
I love the engage part, though.
Yes, the point, because engage. You got to have the hand. You got to have the point.
That's the Picard maneuver.
But also in this trailer, we do get a young girl. Who is she? What is she about? Probably a Borg queen.
That's what you think. Maybe, what if it's his daughter?
No, because why would she be in danger?
That's a good point. What if...
I think that because they talk about her like being the destroyer, so I assume that she is some kind of spawn of the Borg queen that was killed in First Contact, but she doesn't know what she's about. We also see a Borg cube, but I don't think it's being run by the Borg.
No.
there is a sign in there that says like 5,800 days since the last assimilation. And if you look at the background, it looks like those pods that the Borg all stood in. And if you do that out time-wise, that's like about 16 years.
Mm-hmm.
And the Borg would have been taken out, was that 95? So, yeah, so I mean, roughly that time period.
I mean, I like that. It's definitely has to be Borg-centric. I feel like there's a Borg theme to it. I like that. Give me some Borg.
Because also at the panel, Hugh showed up.
We like Hugh. I like Hugh.
I mean, fun on that for following up. But yeah, this is seriously Borg central. I also like how they're like, Star Trek Voyager, what's the one thing people liked in that? Oh, 7 of 9. We took the one thing people liked. Hooray! But yeah, I mean, getting Data in there, getting some Earl Grey tea. At the very end of the trailer, he's drinking that when they're playing cards.
Yes.
In still unknown situations.
Who knows? Data knows.
I'm curious to see this new cast as well, because it's unrealistic to think that Picard would just be able to get like everyone back together all at once. They'd be on like the bridge of the Enterprise again. Like that's just not how life works.
No, and I don't want that.
I want that for one mission.
I'll take it for part of an episode, but I don't want. I want something fresh.
Yeah, I do want that episode. I want it where everyone's just on the Enterprise, and Wesley's like, "Can I come?" They're like, "No."
Shut up, Wesley.
I don't know. I mean, for me, that's the highlight of Comic-Con for me was the Picard trailer.
Yeah, I think it was very good. I'm excited for it. Can't wait.
They pushed it back a couple of months, which is good because I'm trying to work through Next Generation with my wife, and we're not gonna get there.
Oh, well,
I've seen it.
Yes,
but
are you on season 4 now?
At the very end of season 1.
Oh, you got a long way to go.
I got a ways to go.
Because you still have to get through season 2.
Yeah, but at least they have Measure of a Man.
That's true. Season 2 is marginally better than season 1.
Nothing else. Oh, that's not true. There's a good Sherlock Holmes one in there.
But season 3, though, was Time Zero was the one that ended that, right? I think.
Oh, yeah, they kick ass in season 3.
Season 3 and on is good.
Yes, except for season 7, which isn't bad, but every other episode is, here's your long-lost relative you never knew about. It's like every other episode.
There was a couple of good ones, though.
It's not bad. It's just that's a weird theme.
Yeah. The last one before the finale was really good, where Ro turns.
Yeah.
That was a very good... And whatever. Moving on.
Let's do the middle stuff before we get to the other cream of the crop. Let's do comic book news, because there was some comic book news this week, amazing enough, at a Comic-Con.
Yeah.
I know. Hard to believe. Dr. Doom is going to be getting his own ongoing series where he's going to be the most wanted man in the world. He had a series not that long ago, Infamous Iron Man, where he was taking over for Tony when Tony had died. So yeah, I mean, whatever. Dr. Doom is the best villain in comics, so yes, give me more of him. Red Goblin will be returning. This is a combination of Norman Osborn and Carnage, who knows Peter Parker's identity, in a new miniseries, Red Death. Miles Morales, probably coming off of the very successful movie Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, will be getting his own Spider-Verse miniseries. Why not? Makes sense. Movie made money, comic will make money. Do you want to know what the Knights of Ren are all about? Pretty regular Star Wars writer Charles Soule will be writing The Rise of Kylo Ren, talking about the Knights of Ren and his training with Luke. Are we going to see it in movie form? I'm not sure, but we're definitely going to get it in comic book form.
Oh, that's right. That's this fall.
Yeah, December.
I can't wait.
This will be before that happens, so yeah. One of the big new series announced is going to be Strange Adventures by Tom King, Doc Shanner, and Mitch Gerads. I never know if I'm pronouncing his last name right. Especially, I was going to call them Tom and Mitch. They had a very successful couple of years for collaborations, especially at the Eisners this year, which I'll talk about in a second. But this is all going to be about Adam Strange. It's going to be kind of the same format as The Vision and Mr. Miracle, which have both been massively well received, critical darlings, ton of awards, a lot of money. So probably, read this one about Adam Strange. Future time traveler has a fun gun. But it was also the Oscars for comics. It happens every Comic-Con, the Eisners. All the professionals in the field, including retailers.
Were you nominated?
No, but I did vote.
Oh, good for you.
Also, if you want to vote for the Eisners, they don't really double-check your credentials. You can just sign up for it. Just lie.
Oh, okay. I'm going to vote for the Eisners next year. I want to dilute the pool.
Mr. Miracle was the big winner. The book that Strange Adventures is the pseudo follow-up to. So get that book. Best continuing series was Giant Days. Best limited series was Mr. Miracle. Best new series was Gideon Falls. Best writer was Tom King. Best writer/artist was Jen Wang. Best penciler was Mitch Gerads. And there's a bunch of other ones, but those were kind of the biggies. So I guess read Mr. Miracle. That's the takeaway here.
Yeah, it sounds like it was...
That thing won a ton of awards. And made me money, so,
Yes.
It's the best version. Also, the new X-Men line was announced at Comic-Con. We know we're getting House of X and Powers of X 2 miniseries, but then once the main series kick off proper, two of them being written by the overall archetype of this, Jonathan Hickman, there's just going to be regular old X-Men, New Mutants. There's also going to be Excalibur, which is kind of the British weirdo Doctor Who-esque adventures, Marauders, which is usually a villain team, but now maybe it won't be, Fallen Angels, which is all about sad people, and X-Force, which is kind of the Wetworks team of the mutants. Usually has been. They're usually real murdery.
That's a lot to digest. Holy cow.
The line seriously needs a kick in the ass, though, so I'm all for it.
Jumpstart it. Zing.
Yeah, the last couple of attempts to, we're redefining the line.
Yeah?
And this is just my personal opinion, and opinions on this may vary, but the last couple, I don't know, since 2012 have all kind of been duds. I love the X-Men, one of my favorite franchises in comics, but holy crap, do they need a revamp? And part of that was being hand-tied by Disney not letting them do a lot of stuff because Fox owned the movie rights, so there is some precedent for why it has some trouble.
Yeah.
But dear God, yeah. The first issue of the kind of revamp is out this week, and it's a good start. I'm glad we're doing this. It needs a hard kick in the ass.
Kind of throw a jumper cable up its butt and plug it in.
That was in Deadpool 2.
Yeah?
With the Juggernaut. But that's it for comics news. Then we'll move on to other mediums. Everyone, throw your hands up in praise. You did it, because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is officially ending after season 7.
Yay!
Good. Go. You were good for a little bit, but my God, what a show of ups and downs and disappointments. And now it's not really canon anymore, and who the hell cares at this point?
Sounds a lot like our show.
Who the hell cares?
It's up, it's down, it's not really canon.
But so, I don't know. I still have seasons, because they're on season 6 right now, and I think they're almost done. And I think I've watched the first 2, and they're all just sitting on YouTube TV waiting to be watched. I was like, yeah.
You kind of just rip the Band-Aid off and do it.
I don't want to. I just had to do that with
Rip
Jessica
the
Jones.
Band-Aid off and do it.
Here's a weird one that I didn't think anyone saw coming, because when I saw this name trending, I just assumed he died of an overdose.
Uh-oh.
Edward Furlong.
Really?
He's back.
Doing what?
John Connor. He is reprising his role as John Connor.
Good that he's alive.
I just assumed he was dead. I mean, when I saw the name trending, I thought it was going to be an overdose.
You assumed wrong.
So yeah, in this new Terminator movies, Edward Furlong is back.
I'll be back.
Weird, right?
No.
I never would have guessed that in a million years.
I like it.
All right, so let me throw a theory out there,
Okay.
because
I'm listening.
I wouldn't exactly qualify him as a bankable star, because we know this is going to be more of a female-centric focused film. He dies in the first 20 minutes, and they need to redefine who the next savior of humanity is going to be.
Maybe he dies trying to, and he's
20 minutes might be too long. He probably dies in the first 5.
But he's probably you need to find Sarah O'Connor with his dying breath.
Sarah, so she's Irish now. Sarah O'Connor.
I mean Sarah Connor. Sarah O'Connor, yes, because Sarah Connor is getting, anyone goes near her dies. So maybe with his dying breath, he's find Sarah Connor.
He can't last long in this movie, though, right?
No, unless he's chilling with Arnold. To me, they're just living together. They've settled their differences.
They did say that Arnold is going to be the Terminator again, but he's just going to be an old Terminator who's built a relationship with the townspeople.
Oh, not governor of California?
No. I do remember when he signed into law that necrophilia was bad.
Good for him.
It was.
Way to take a hard stance on that.
That's really a nonpartisan issue.
Yes.
I think we can all come together on that one.
Yeah, I think it was a dead issue, actually.
That was a better joke than I had.
Thank you.
I had one. I was about to say it, but you cut me off, and I think you won. You won the joke. Take that bell away from you, too.
No, you won't.
So, yeah, Edward Furlong's back. Cool.
You could say he really buried it.
And you lost it. You don't get the bell for losing.
Okay, fair enough.
Here's a thing that I hate with a fiery passion.
Was it an issue of grave importance?
Cats.
No.
Cats had a trailer.
Oh.
And let me say this unequivocally.
You're going to see it in theaters.
No, never. You couldn't pay me to see that.
$10.
No.
What if I bought your ticket and dinner?
It'd have to be a nice dinner.
Yeah, somewhere between Red Robin and Ruby Tuesdays.
So not a nice dinner.
Olive Garden.
Still not a nice dinner.
Nicer than Red Robin.
All crap. But I had a friend growing up who had a 1998...
A friend. A friend.
double VHS copy of the Cats musical, and I sat through it conservatively 10 times, possibly more,
Why?
because they like to watch it.
Doesn't mean you have to watch it if you're hanging out with
And
them.
you're just a kid. It just happens when you're young.
So you have it memorized.
So let me say this.
Who are you? Are you more of a? What song do you like better, Memories or Mr. Mistopheles?
I hate Cats more than any other musical, and I didn't think there was a way to make me hate Cats more than I already did. But here we are.
You own a cat.
I saw that trailer. They are monsters, and I hate this musical.
I think it's meant to be a horror film.
Oh, God, what happened?
Bigger surprise, the trailer or the fact there's no Hugh Jackman? He's in all the musical adaptations, it seems like. Who was more terrifying, Ian McKellen or Judi Dench?
They were both not great. But between this and Sonic, what is with terrifying creatures?
I don't know. I can't tell you.
I missed that Sonic trailer, man. That was where it was at.
Notice how that film has gone into production
High
hell.
quality. Yeah, they pushed it back, which they should. But, oh my God, the Cats trailer.
They didn't highlight any other songs in the musical.
That's not a good song. It's a terrible song. There's no real plot in that play, in that musical. It's just loosely connected by bullshit. Cats is terrible.
It was one of the longest running shows in the history of Broadway.
It's still terrible. I don't care. Taking a hard stance against Cats.
Your cat is giving you an evil look.
Yeah, not him. He's fine. He's not dancing. And they also didn't give him tits like Rebel Wilson.
Yeah, there's a lot of Rebel Wilson. James Corden is in this.
He's crap.
Who else was in this? Idris Elba.
Jason Derulo. Do you think he's going to have to sing his name for any song he's in?
He might. Taylor Swift is in this.
Oh, yeah, because you know how I love the acting chops of Taylor Swift.
I know you do. You're a huge Taylor. You're a big Swiftie. Is that what they call the Taylor Swift fans? Swifties?
They can't be called that.
Swiffers?
That's a brand of cleaning product.
Well, maybe they're more popular than Swifties. I don't know. I'm
I thought you got out your phone to look up the name of Taylor Swift fans.
Let's find out.
Oh, so that's not why you picked up your phone.
No, I was just hoping to move on to something more entertaining than Cats.
Ugh, Cats. Fine. Something more entertaining. Something that looks way better than I thought it was going to look. Jay and Silent Bob reboot.
Yes.
They had a Red Band trailer. Have you ever seen a Red Band trailer where they had to blur something?
That was amazing. I loved everything. You are a Swiftie. If you're a fan of Taylor Swift, you're a Swiftie.
Great.
Spelled two different ways, Swiftie or Swifty. There you go.
Cool. But yeah, Jay and Silent Bob reboot. Looks surprisingly good.
Looks more than surprisingly good. Looks frigging amazing.
Val Kilmer is in there for some reason.
Val Kilmer. Like everybody from Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back is in it.
When Val Kilmer took off that mask, I went, oh, who's that old Roseanne-looking chick?
Oh, wow.
It turns out Val Kilmer.
His daughter is in this.
Yes, she's in everything now.
But she seemed like she had the chops to play along, and she was hilarious, I thought, in the trailer.
Yeah, why not? I mean, Affleck's back. Matt Damon's back as Loki.
Yes.
So apparently things worked out for him in heaven.
That's a good point.
Still wearing the same outfit. Brody's back.
Bong.
Still saying the same lines. Also still wearing the same outfit.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. The biggest thing about it I like, kind of filling the George Carlin role, is Tommy Chong, sorry.
You did get... Well, I think it's going to be I wouldn't be surprised if Cheech Marin showed up, because we have Jay and Bob, famous stoner duo.
Yeah.
We see Redman and Method Man in there.
That's hilarious.
Another famous stoner duo. And then there's Tommy Chong. I'm like,
Cheech Marin's got to show up.
Cheech Marin is, I bet it's just going to be a movie of famous stoner duos as some of the cameos.
No,
I mean,
I'm excited
Marin
for
will
it.
Do anything.
This looks like it's going to be frigging hilarious.
Yeah, although Kevin Smith's wig looks terrible.
Yeah.
It's not... You don't need to do the hair extensions. It's fine. Not everyone needs to look the same as they did in 1992.
But as you pointed out, they are comic book characters. They look the same. They wear the same outfits, so you know who they are. It's a living comic book is what it really
that's
is.
Because they have all these actors playing the different roles in the same universe, so you can only identify them by the costumes.
Yes, but that's fine. I like it. I want it. I am so pumped for it.
What's funny is, I'm sure everyone who listens to the show knows that I lived in Jersey for a while. When they show a reverse shot of the Quick Stop, I'm like, that ain't what that looks like, because that's not that's a set.
Yeah.
But because I don't know if they've done reverse shots of the other side of it before. I'm like, that ain't what's over there.
It's the View Askew universe, though.
Yeah, I know it's not real, but yeah, weirdly good looking trailer.
It's probably one of my favorites coming out of Comic-Con.
Yeah, had some good jokes in there. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I was gonna see this movie, but I wasn't that excited for it because it's gonna be the same movie again. And also Kevin Smith just did a Hit Girl series that was Hollywood is making a movie about Hit Girl, so she has to go there to stop it from being made. And it was pretty awful.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, great. So you're going to do the same story for the third time. How good's it going to be? Looks good. I'm totally on board.
Yeah, I think that's one I might go and see in the theater.
Well, we're going to do it for the show, so you are.
Yes! Finally, something good.
Something I want. Well, speaking of places I've lived, Maine.
Yes.
It's Chapter 2 had its second trailer.
That looks creepy.
It does.
Creepy.
The first movie I didn't see in theaters, and it had all this big hype and made a ton of money. There's like, it's the best horror movie ever. Then I saw it, I'm like, it's fine. But I think it grew on me because I think my expectations going in were too high.
Yeah.
I think it's better than my initial viewing gave it credit for. But I also have a lot of faith in this one because, we're dealing with adult actors who can do more stuff, and they don't have to deal with, child actors doing scary things. But what I didn't get enough of to know for sure is, are they doing Maine accents?
I couldn't tell. Like with the miniseries from back in the day, yes. Definitely you could see that.
It looks to me, there's some stuff in the trailer that is not from the book. There is some stuff that is like instantly recognizable from certain scenes, and because what happens is they all move away and they lose their memory of what happened. Like if you get away from the town, you forget kind of the past, except one of them doesn't leave, and then it comes back every 27 years. By the way, it's just doesn't count as spoilers. The book's been out forever.
That's fair.
Also, one of them in the first 5 minutes.
Oh, that's also...
I'm just spoiling it now.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Guess who's not going to go see that?
It's been out forever.
Guess who's not going to go see it?
You.
Damn right.
Maybe I'll cut some of those spoilers.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
It's not my fault people are illiterate.
Oh my god. You're being really harsh tonight. Very terse.
Maybe I'll bleep them. I don't know.
I think bleeping it would be funnier.
Overall, I think it looks good, though.
Yeah, it looks super creepy. I like what they kind of do with some of the visuals.
Yeah, that Bill Skarsgård kid, where they show him at the end of the trailer and his face is all cut up, like, is this an early version of it? Is this potentially the origin, or is this where he's getting his image from when his face is all cut up and bleeding and he's just making, like, Joker noises like he's Cesar Romero? Like,
okay, that was unnecessary. I know what you're doing, but it was unnecessary.
It wasn't a bad Cesar Romero.
It wasn't a good one either.
I think it was at least recognizable.
It was in...
If I had to say which Joker was that,
yes,
I think you could have gotten there.
But, I mean, if you were to, like, say it was good, you're really setting a long, wide standard of what is acceptable.
I don't know. Overall, it looks good. I can't wait to catch that sucker on a red box. TV news. Shows I don't watch anymore.
Yeah.
Just, I fell off them. Nothing against them. Just kind of happened. All the CW shows. Well, they have a yearly crossover, and they've hooked me for this year's crossover. I didn't watch last year's or anything, but whatever. They got me this year.
Okay.
For a 5-part crossover. Why? Because number one, I'm starting with a low point. That's really not a big selling one. They're bringing back Superman in their world. Tyler Hoechlin, I think is how you pronounce his name.
Okay.
He was good. I liked him a lot. I saw him in Supergirl for a bit before I kind of fell off. You know, he had a kind of a wink and a smile, and he was real good-natured. And when DC, the movies were happening, it's like, this kid's a lot better Superman than what they're doing in the movies. But then also, they got 2 big selling points for me. Number one, Brandon Routh is already on one of the shows playing the Atom, but he's going to be playing Superman from another dimension in this.
Wow.
Brandon Routh is playing Superman again.
Reprising.
Not only is he playing Superman, he's playing Kingdom Come Superman, an older Superman from an alternate timeline, because he ripped open his shirt at Comic-Con and he was wearing the Kingdom Come logo.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. I'll watch it just to see him do Superman again.
He wasn't bad.
No, that movie's not great. Full of sexual predators between Bryan Singer and Kevin Spacey, but it's not his fault.
No.
As far as we know, he's not a sexual predator, so yay. Sad, that's a positive.
Well, moving on. Let's not give them the light of day.
But also in there, in an undisclosed role, Burt Ward is coming back.
Wow. Good for Burt.
Robin himself. Look, I'm not going to watch any of these shows otherwise, but you're damn right I'm watching that crossover. I want to know what's going on with that.
Exactly. That's a good...
Yeah, those are totally great selling points.
That's a good gateway drug.
I'm not going back.
You don't know that.
There's too much to catch up on now.
Okay.
I'm definitely not going back.
It's not worth it. You know, it's worth the effort. I like what they're doing. They're doing it just for you, Zach.
The opposite of television, and I think these guys get some big balls on them.
Radio?
The Walking Dead. They removed Rick Grimes from the TV series, but he's going to be starring in some movies. You know where those movies are going?
Straight to DVD?
Theaters.
Wow.
Multiple movies going to theaters based on a TV show.
That
It's
is
still ongoing TV show.
That is ballsy.
I'm not seeing these.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, and I don't really watch the show.
That's fair.
But that's pretty crazy. I mean, that's a finite audience. You already know what your audience is. You can see the numbers on TV, which, I mean, after this many years is still high, but also diminishing. You got to really have some faith in what you're doing to put that stuff in theaters.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Just putting it on a streaming service or just having it be a made-for-TV thing on AMC, because they know movies.
They do.
They probably should have just made it a TV movie, but yeah, they're going to theaters with multiple Rick Grimes movies.
Good for Rick.
I don't know, I think it's a bad call, but
Well, Rick,
sure.
Why
Do
not?
what you want, I guess.
It's their money.
And straight back to TV.
Yes.
HBO, they got some stuff coming up because now they have Game of Thrones prequels, but nothing in Veep's going away, so they need something in their corner. Curb Your Enthusiasm, who knows what's up with that show? It's there, it's not. It goes away for 7 years. Larry David does what he wants, I guess.
It's pretty good.
I feel like you haven't seen the show.
Nope.
But you did know that.
I did.
A couple of HBO shows. Number 1, Watchmen.
Interesting trailer.
I didn't really like it.
I thought it was just interesting, but why didn't you like it?
I don't know. It feels weird.
Dr. Manhattan's on Mars. That's comic accurate.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to be a follow-up to the movie. It's definitely a follow-up to the comic because we see people dressing up as Dr. Manhattan, and I don't think people would be celebrating him if he blew up the world like he did in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you didn't see the movie. Sorry. But I appreciate you playing along.
I'm here for you.
We see some stuff saying that Adrian Veidt is dead, but then we also see in the trailer he's not because it's played by, what's his name? Scar.
Oh, Jeremy Irons.
Jeremy Irons. I don't know, this whole thing about, you're wearing a mask so no one knows who you are and you can't get retribution, and they're all just saying lines from the comic, and
Don Johnson's in it.
I don't know. We'll see. It could be good.
Is that Dr. Manhattan at the end, do you think?
Oh, 100%.
Wearing clothing?
Yeah. Learn some modesty.
Maybe he got some Martian penis disease or something.
I don't know. It didn't do a lot for me, but it could be good. We'll see.
You forgot another trailer from Comic-Con.
What?
Top Gun, Maverick.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even write that one down.
Yeah, it looks... I'm interested in it. I think it'll be good.
Of course you're interested in it.
Yeah. I'm going to make you watch Top Gun, just so you're aware.
Well, I mean, I feel like I know the movie anyway without ever having seen it, just from clips and pop culture references. I mean, they got a Need for Speed. There's a crappy 80s soundtrack.
That's not crappy
There's
at all.
There's some homoerotic volleyball.
That's true.
Iceman dies.
No, Iceman does not die.
Which one dies?
Goose dies.
Goose dies. Goose.
See, you need to watch it.
Yeah.
They gotta light the fires and kick the tires.
I don't think I knew that one. Look, I don't know. I haven't seen this movie, but I feel like the trailer I watched was for the movie I have never seen.
Negative Ghost Rider. The pattern is full.
Did the trailer look like just the last movie? Because I feel like it was just the last movie, never actually having seen that movie.
No, they had some flashbacks in it to kind of pump up some of the nostalgia, but it did not seem that way.
Yeah, I forgot that happened, but yes, that's.
I'm thinking Maverick dies.
Not Maverick. Has Tom Cruise ever died in a movie?
I want to say yes.
I feel like that might be like some kind of contract stipulation on his point. Tom Cruise has to live so he can get up to the spaceship with Ron L. Hubbard.
Whoa.
I mean, I guess he died in The Mummy, the movie we didn't see, but then he came back as the Mummy.
Of course. Yeah, he died in Collateral. How did I forget about that?
Because I saw that movie once. I forgot that, too.
He dies over and over again in Edge of Tomorrow.
Oh, that doesn't count. There's also one...
He dies at one point in an interview with the vampire. But Collateral,
you also know that doesn't count.
Valkyrie.
He comes back.
He died in movie 1981's Taps.
That one I never saw
in
that.
In the 2014 movie Edge of Tomorrow, he dies on screen 24 times.
Yeah, but he keeps coming back.
In the book that it's based on, the character dies 300 times.
And then there was the one that came out around the same time where he was a bunch of clones.
He died in Vanilla Sky.
That was the point of the movie, though. Was that weird afterlife thing with Jason Lee.
But Collateral is really the big one. He was like the villain and he dies at the end. Great movie, Collateral.
I saw it once. I don't remember.
I liked it a lot. I thought it was a really good job by Jamie Foxx in that movie, too.
Yeah, I remember when it came out, but that's the end of that. I saw it once, called it a day. But let's move on to the meat of the episode.
Yes. And already run a long-running episode at that.
That's why we didn't have a topic this week.
All right.
Marvel.
Phase 4.
Oh, they just dropped it on us. Let's run through. I mean, you've all seen it. There's no surprises.
I've got it up on my computer. By computer, I mean phone, so I can follow along.
Cell phone, telephone.
Yeah.
I think that's a funny way to say it.
Celly phone.
I'm reading Stephen King book right now from the 90s, and you can tell it's from like the mid-90s because it just keeps on being referred to as a cellular phone. The idea of calling it a cell phone or a cell or anything else just was not existent. I'm like, oh yes, the cellular phone.
Yes, the celly device.
And, it doesn't work a lot. And I forgot, like, all of the old things you would hear, like, when you called in the 90s.
Oh,
of
I
just
saw...
things not working.
Yeah, I saw a meme today. It was like, if you ever feel useless, remember somebody designed a Nokia protective case. It was like the little brick phone. It was like, to what? Protect the floor?
I had one of those. I had a track phone, Nokia phone.
I had the brick phone, but it was like the like more lamer brick phone, not the one with Snake.
I definitely didn't have Snake on. I don't remember. But let's go through the list I don't know, let's knock out the TV ones first.
All right.
Because I didn't write them all down in order.
So next fall, Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, and I mean, we already knew that this was happening. These are the first official announcements. Also confirmed that this is going to be a post-Endgame show. Actually, all these are post-Endgame shows.
Yep.
So I can kind of stop saying that like it's a surprise. But they had Anthony Mackie come out on stage with Captain America's shield, and Sebastian Stan was there, and he kind of took it away from him, and they had a little bit of banter there.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So I feel like that's the show.
They like an Odd Couple type show.
They keep on yelling back and forth at each other. I am the captain now.
Wow. Oh, there was another trailer that we didn't talk about. The Mr. Rogers trailer.
Wasn't really a Comic-Con, but that looks amazing, and I'm going to cry.
Yes, me too. I got all the chills watching it.
I got glassy out of those last 10 seconds when he's on the subway.
Oh, yeah.
Straight up. I was like, oh.
Did you see my tweet?
No.
I said, give him the damn Oscar now.
I feel like he already has some.
Give him another. Anyway.
Yeah, so Falcon Winter Soldier.
WandaVision's the other TV show.
The other thing that we learned about Falcon Winter Soldier is Daniel Bruhl will be back as Zemo, and as a criticism of that character in Civil War, this time he's going to put a big old purple sock over his head.
Huh. The Baron is back.
That's what his costume is. He has a big old purple sock and a crown. What are you doing? Are you just looking at Marvel stuff? Or
I'm looking at Marvel stuff.
Sneaky things. Yeah. So that's the first one, going to be kicking you off with the Disney Plus streaming service. And then we get WandaVision, which is also post-Endgame.
So where's the Vision?
I know I said this last week, and I'm still going to be putting my weight behind it, and we're going to be getting a House of X series at some point to introduce mutants into the world. My guess is
House of X or House of M?
House of M, sorry. House of X was a series that started this week.
I was paying attention.
I'm mixing up my things, my houses.
Mm.
But my guess would be Wanda brings him back from some kind of either... he's just in her head, and then there's been talk about this show taking place like in the 50s and the 80s, and it was being like this weird sitcom-y thing. But I feel like this is going to be some level of her descent into madness. Would be my guess. If you're going to be like, oh look, it's the Vision. Now we're in the 50s and we have a family. Isn't that fun? Does that sound sane to you?
Which kind of sets up what's going to happen that spring for a movie.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Just saying.
What if an animated show?
You skipped over Loki.
I have that written down next. What if? Look, it's a comic book series. It's a fun series. Sometimes Aunt May's a Herald of Galactus. Sometimes Spider-Man's in the Fantastic Four. And sometimes, if you look into the logo of this one, there's a Marvel zombie.
Ooh.
But who's a part of this show? Literally everyone except for Evans and Downey.
Makes sense.
Everyone is signed on to this animated show.
Well, because all they have to do is show up and give their voice for half an hour.
Yeah, probably get paid a good chunk of cash.
Yes.
Whatever, why not? Do a fun thing. It's not what I would consider part of, they said it's phase 4, but it's a what if.
Yeah.
It's its own thing. But then Loki.
Mm.
This is going to be the Loki that escaped Endgame.
Interesting.
So he has no character development. He's just evil again.
Just creating mischief all over the place.
I mean, why not? Will he run into Hemsworth? Probably not. Sounds expensive.
Yeah. Stop it. My article's trying to play a soundbite.
Of all the shows, this is probably the one I'm the least interested in.
What about Hawkeye?
The logo they use for that, and maybe it's one we'll do before the show comes out, is from the Matt Fraction run, My Life as a Weapon, where like Hawkeye buys an apartment complex, and he has Pizza Dog, and he trains Kate Bishop, but in this he has a family, so who knows, and he has all those awful tattoos and a stupid haircut.
Oh, maybe he's not having that haircut anymore that everyone's back, and he didn't have to be all
Well, the tattoos he still
Ronin-ish.
has. He's stuck with those.
Not necessarily. They have surgeries to get rid of that.
I'm banking on that.
Oh, well.
How's your tattoo coming along?
It's not. It's still July. There's still a whole month of my summer vacation left.
There's still summer.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hawkeye could be good. Introducing Kate Bishop, she's a definite fan favorite character. I think way more than Clint is, so Yeah, do Hawkeye. Probably retire Jeremy Renner after this. We'll see. He's definitely not getting a movie, so this is as good as he's going to get. But these are also going to be like 8-hour movies as they are.
Yeah.
They're not going to be ongoing series. They're just going to be a bunch of mini-series.
Which is fine. I'm all about that.
Yeah, I mean, especially, the way they put out the phases, they're definitely playing them like, you want to keep up, you got to watch this.
Which is smart.
Yeah, it's good marketing. Like, you got to buy Disney Plus, so you got to watch our miniseries. We're just giving you what you want. You want more of this? We'll give it to you.
Yeah, we're going to shove it right into you.
But you only got to pay like $7 a month.
We're going to
What a deal.
throw down hard on it.
And then the movies.
So we don't get another Marvel movie till next spring.
Not until May of 2020 with a prequel movie, Black Widow, that's currently filming.
Yes.
They showed some footage at Comic-Con. The villain is Taskmaster. What's his deal? If you fight him, he has a photographic memory and can mimic those moves back to you.
He's a master of tasks. That's his.
If Captain America throws a shield at him, he'll throw a shield right back just as well. If Black Widow does that thing where she leaps on your head and spins you about, he'll leap on your head and spin you about.
Good for him.
But that's his deal. Timing-wise, this is going to take place in between Civil War and Endgame when she was on the run. When Tony's like, you betrayed me, you better get out of here. She was like,
all right, I'm out.
yeah, I probably should.
See you later, Tony.
I have to go do a movie.
I feel like...
And then fight with Hawkeye over who's going to kill themselves.
Wow. I feel like this next one, though, is the one I think probably excited you the most.
No.
Or is it?
No.
Okay, then the one that excited you the most has to be Doctor Strange.
No, but that's up. I'm mostly interested in all these. But the Eternals was officially announced. Eternals, beings who came to Earth to fight the Deviants. We've already seen one member of this race in the Marvel movies, that being Thanos. I think he's technically he's an Eternal or a Deviant. I don't remember. He's one of them. I want to say he's an Eternal.
Okay.
But so we've already been introduced to them, but my guess is this will be the movie earliest in Marvel continuity, like way before anything else. But it's like Angelina Jolie, Kumail Nanjiani, Rob Stark, the rest. But it's a Jack Kirby creation. It's supposedly going to be mostly based off of a Neil Gaiman, John Romita Jr. run of the book, which is convenient because that's the only one that's still in stock to order.
Wow.
So I ordered that puppy for the store. So if you want to know what the hell is going on in the Eternals, well, I got the book for you because it's literally the only one I can order.
Oh.
And then Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Explain that to me. What is that all about?
You know what his superpower is?
He has 10 rings? Is he the Lord of the Rings?
No, Shang-Chi is just really damn good at martial arts. Like, best martial artist in the world.
Master of the martial arts?
Yeah, between him and Iron Fist, he's the best. And they're actually getting an actor that can do martial arts, so it's not going to look crappy like Iron Fist.
And whiny?
Which is terrible, and no one should watch Iron Fist. But yeah, he doesn't really have powers. He's been given some stuff in the books, but for the most part, this is just going to be a martial arts movie. Which, why not? Why not give someone a Marvel-esque budget and just see in the time, let's just see people do the craziest things that are the absolute limits of human physicality. I'm all for it.
Mm.
But also, Legend of the Ten Rings, that mean, and it's not coy, it is what it is. We're going to get the real Mandarin.
Ooh, the real Mandarin.
Yeah.
Will the real Mandarin please stand up? Please stand up.
What are these videos that keep popping up?
I keep scrolling through to read about these things and keep up with it, and they keep, Instagram videos and stuff.
Because, Iron Man 3 had Ben Kingsley as the Mandarin, but then he wasn't really, and I still like that twist. I don't care what other people say.
A ruthless terror.
But then was it the Iron Man 3 Blu-ray, they released one of those Marvel videos that they had going for a little while, where Ben Kingsley admitted that he wasn't the real Mandarin, and there was another really real Mandarin, and I never thought they'd actually get to him. But damned if they didn't. So yeah, Shang-Chi will be fighting the real Mandarin. And then one of the more exciting ones, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Which is supposed to be kind of a horror film, yeah.
I don't know what all those O's are that you just said.
Well, it was...
Well, did you say horror?
Horror.
I thought it was pronounced horror.
Horror?
Horror.
Big... Horror.
Horror.
Whatever.
Gonna be a horror movie.
It's a hard R. But Benedict Cumberbatch said it...
I don't do O's.
Benedict Cumberbatch said it's going to still have some of the lightheartedness and the funniness, but it's also going to be dip into some of the madness, which also apparently Wanda's going to be in it.
Yeah, and they're going to actually be referring to her as the Scarlet Witch. Maybe she'll have some kind of weird head thing that the character has.
I like that.
But yeah, I'm still Still beating that door if she's going to go crazy and make mutants. It's still my working theory.
That's your working theory.
Yeah, but so yeah, Wanda's going to be in that. And then the biggie, the one that we knew was coming, but we didn't know the details of.
Thor.
That's the one I'm the most excited for.
I love the title.
Taika Waititi's back. Thor, Love and Thunder. It has the best looking logo too.
Oh, it has a badass logo.
It looks like a 80s album cover logo.
And Jane Foster's back, baby.
Isn't that hilarious? Natalie Portman was like, I'm out. Then she's like, oh, they got good again. I'm in.
Yes. And she gets to be Lady Thor.
Just Thor.
She gets to be Thor.
There's no lady in it.
So I'm interested to see how they play that off with like how she becomes Thor.
The way it works in the book is Thor becomes unworthy. Although I doubt they'll do that because they just dealt with like schlubby Thor, so it'll probably be something different. But she finds the hammer on the moon, and it's probably gonna be something like maybe the hammer gets remade because it feels like her worthiness or something. That's happened before with a frog.
Well, remember the hammer technically is destroyed.
Yeah, but Puddle Gulp, the frog, that's his name.
It's a cool name.
He found a sliver, and that sliver turned into a hammer. So there's precedent here for the hammer being
Reforged.
remade from nothing. So it'll probably be something along those lines. And then she'll become Thor. In the book, she has cancer, and that becomes a big part of it. Is she's dying, and she's getting chemotherapy. But every time she turns into Thor, that power expels all unnatural elements from her body, which includes the chemotherapy, because cancer is a naturally occurring thing.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't expel the cancer, so it makes she gets sicker and sicker every time she becomes Thor. Like, the chemotherapy is pointless.
So like she gets sicker the more good she does.
Yeah. Every time she turns into Thor, she dies a little bit more. So it becomes this like ticking clock of like how far can she push it.
Morbid.
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to go that route. I mean, that Thor story with Jane Foster, it went on for 4 or 5 years, and it's really good. Like, really, really good.
Yeah.
It was kind of sad. I saw a bunch of people like in my Twitter feed. They're like, ugh, look at all these stupid fanboys complaining about it. I'm like, I don't see that at all. All I see is people being excited and happy about this. So then I went to my Twitter search bar and typed in Jane Foster. All positives. I'm like, okay, great. Let's peel off the lowest level of onion here. I typed in Jane Foster SJW.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. So they're out there. They're out there on their pricks.
Why would you do that?
I was like, that was...
Why would you do that to yourself?
I was just like, oh, that didn't take long to find. But it's an amazing run. And I've certainly never seen Natalie Portman in that kind of role. Not to say that she can't do it. I've just never seen it.
I think it'll be exciting.
So I think, yeah, I mean...
And Taika Waititi has a really good feel for the Thor movies right now, I feel.
Yeah, he's a lot of fun. He just released a trailer today for a movie. It was called JoJo something.
Oh, okay.
It looked funny. But yeah, I think this one's the most exciting for me. Because if you get Mjolnir back, you still have Stormbreaker in the world. And not to say that Thor couldn't get rid of Stormbreaker. You could introduce Beta Ray Bill. You could introduce Puddle Gulp. I just want to see a bunch of weird Thors running around. Also, they announced that Valkyrie is going to be the first LGBTQ character. And the way Tessa Thompson put it is that she's king of Asgard and she's looking for her queen in Jane Foster.
Wow.
And he's just such a big goofball in a Hawaiian shirt. Like, he gets down on one knee and he gives... I almost called her the character. He gives Natalie Portman Mjolnir, and there's some great photos of that.
Yes.
Just being a big old weirdo like
he's a big ham. I love it.
He is. He just seems to have fun being him.
What's wrong with that?
No, do that.
Yeah, please.
Enjoy your life.
All of it.
Be happy. Don't type Jane Foster SJW into Twitter.
See, that's your choice to make yourself unhappy by doing that.
I didn't make myself unhappy. I was like, okay, there it is.
It certainly doesn't sound like it made you happy.
It's just weird affirmation.
Well, we all need that sometimes.
And then they had, 2 more announcements. The smaller one that they said, and I'll dive into this real quick, is they said Captain Marvel 2 is happening, Black Panther 2 is happening, Guardians 3 is happening, Fantastic Four is happening, and mutants are happening. Specifically, they didn't use the word X-Men. They said Kevin Feige, from the horse's mouth, said mutants. So we'll see what that means.
Phase 5.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. They said this is Phase 4 in its entirety, and I doubled, because a few months ago, Disney released their movie slate for the next couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went in there and I was double-checking date to date, and everything through 2021 they have now announced, but they still have 3 unannounced, untitled movies in 2022. Plus whatever happens with Spider-Man, because that will go under Sony's announcements.
Yeah.
So who knows? I mean, even in that, he's like, and these are the other movies that we're doing. He rattled off 4 movies, not counting whatever mutants means. And they only have 3 in 2022. Not to say they couldn't add any more, but who the hell knows? There's a lot coming.
Yes.
And then
Marvel.
There's one more movie they announced without a date or anything, or much in the way of information.
What was that?
Mahershala Ali came out on stage.
Okay.
And Kevin Feige's like, "Hey, Mahershala Ali, do you have any exciting news to tell?" And I was like, "Oh boy, is he going to announce Luke Cage Season 3? He was a villain in half of Luke Cage's Cottonmouth. He was amazing." And as we know, Marvel contracts, you can only play one person. You can't double down on multiple characters for the sake of continuity.
Yep.
So those Netflix shows, oh baby, they're back.
Yeah.
I'm really, everyone knows what the answer is here. He's going to be Blade. So those Netflix shows don't count for anything anymore.
I like
That's
Blade.
what that is.
Give me some Blade.
Yeah, so that was the big surprise.
That's a big surprise indeed, yes.
And like he was Cottonmouth in one half of a season of Luke Cage, and he's, I'm comfortable saying, the best thing out of 2 seasons of Luke Cage.
Blade, the vampire slaying vampire.
Yeah, and also he was in Green Book, the movie that taught you that racism was bad. He was in Moonlight, and now he's going to be Blade.
He's no Wesley Snipes, but he'll be better, maybe.
He probably will be better. Like those movies are fine, except for the last one.
Was that Blade Trinity or something?
Yes, with Ryan Reynolds and Jessica Biel.
Oh, yeah.
Although Ryan Reynolds is jacked in that
Forgot
movie.
about that. Oh, yeah, he was.
And then
Remember that.
Wesley Snipes, if you look, it was when Patton Oswalt was on the Pete Holmes show. He talks about the filming of that movie and how it's impressive how well that movie came out, considering how poorly the filming went. It's a great clip. Look it up because it's wacky. How Wesley Snipes refused to, you couldn't call him Wesley. You could only refer to him as Blade. And he's communicated to the director exclusively through Post-it notes.
Wesley Snipes also, for all the athletes he's played, there was a really good podcast I listened to called The Rewatchables, and they talk about Major League 2, which he's in. Oh, no, it's Major League. And because Omar Epps was in Major League 2. So Wesley
the
Snipes.
guy from House and Dracula 2000. Why do I know what Omar Epps was in?
He was also in The Program. It's a football movie. You wouldn't know. So anyway, because it's about sports ball. So Wesley Snipes apparently was not very good at running. That's why all of his running scenes are in slow motion.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. So go back and watch Major League, which I know you never have. His character.
No, I've seen Major League.
So go back and watch.
I've never seen Major League 2.
Yeah, you don't have to. So you watch Major League. All of Wesley Snipes' running is in slow motion.
Is there a Major League 3?
There is, actually. It's Back to the Minors.
I've never seen that one either.
The characters, I think, Rube and Harry Doyle are the only carryovers into that one. It's about a minor league team.
But holy hell.
Ooh, and I think Corbin Burnton's in it too.
So that's Comic-Con.
Wow.
Yeah. Now let's move on to the topic for now. But from Bruce Wayne's other secret identity matches Malone to the Dream Team's Karl Malone, we're going on to Jared's sports reports.
He's running down the middle by the 50. He's at the 30. Bare-chested. The guy is drunk, but there he goes. Oh, and they tackle him at the 40-yard line.
It's time for another Jared Sports Report.
Those aren't getting any better. I'm not going to lie.
That was a good one.
It wasn't a great one.
Matches Malone to Karl Malone. Come on.
Your 6 degrees of separation sucks.
The Lakers own for that one season.
Yes. Not much, really. In Jared's,
you don't remember that.
I don't care. Jared Sports Reports this week. Not a whole lot. NFL training camps will be starting up soon. The Hall of Fame game just a couple of weeks away. The Red Sox in a make-or-break part of their season. They've got the Rays and the Yankees coming up in consecutive series where they can make up some ground in the AL East and maybe get closer to that wild card playoff spot. What else is there of excitement?
You did some racing.
I went to the races at Loudon. That was fun. It was a really good time. A lot of drunk people. Really hot.
How drunk were you?
Not very, because I kept sweating it out.
That's the problem when you're drinking water.
Well, that's also true. I was well hydrated. No hangovers to report on.
I meant Coors.
Whatever. So one funny story. We're getting back to our campsite, and the group next to us was really cool. There was this guy passed out on the ground who was not part of that group, and we're like, what happened? They're like, oh, this guy just showed up and started partying with us. Then he just laid down on the ground. He's been out ever since. And they took a whole bunch of pictures with him. And so I couldn't resist. So I just took a picture of this person, this individual, which I will share with you now.
Is he dead?
We thought he was.
There's a lot of stuff near his butt.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of butt-based photos.
Giant water. Yeah. So the guy wakes up the next morning and grabs a beer from their cooler, opens it, starts drinking, and stumbles off.
Sounds unhealthy.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it was good choices made by him. But Christopher Bell won the Saturday race, and Kevin Harvick won the Sunday race. It was a really good race, even though it was super hot.
Manny Pacquiao defended his title
He did.
in 12 rounds.
Yes.
It's a good time.
It's good boxing.
There were 3 good fights that night. They were all entertaining.
I'm glad you entertained yourself with the fights.
I did. It was a good time.
I saw a fight at the race in the campground.
Bare knuckle.
Oh, yeah. Bare knuckle, bare chested, screaming at each other.
Pacquiao's 40,
Yeah, he's still got it.
and he just keeps on defending that title.
Stick and move, baby. Stick and move.
Good for him. What a spry fellow.
Let's see. Oh, the Lobster Bowl, the Maine Shriners Lobster Bowl senior all-star football game happened. The West beat the East 60-14. That's it.
All right. If that's it for Jared's sports reports, I guess there isn't much happening in the world of sports, is there?
No.
Yeah, it happens.
Dog days of summer.
We are going to move on. I don't have a fun transition for this one. Let's have it be Karl Malone based. A bunch of Utah Jazz questions coming at us.
Wasn't Karl Malone was the mailman? Or was that John Stockton?
I don't remember.
Pretty sure it was Malone. Because if it is, then your transition is going to be even cooler.
You're like, or John Stockton.
Yep, he was the mailman. I was right.
Fantastic. Moving on. Wait,
so
you want
from
to try it?
Karl Malone, the mailman who delivers our letters to the editor.
Lot of questions, number one. Damn few answers.
Here's another one of your letters to the editors.
Make it so.
Weird amount of Karl Malone talk. There we go.
Anyway, I've got our letters to the editor this week.
Oh, well, I guess I'll save this one for next week.
All right.
No, I'll put this away.
Okay, so I got it this week.
Who the hell sent you one?
Sound guy.
Oh.
Yeah. He wants to know because he's going camping.
Oh, were you on that email too? I haven't read that one yet.
Yeah. So he's going camping, so it's timely because I open my emails when people send them to me.
Well, I just knew what it was because it said it, so I was just banking it.
But I wanted to answer it for him this week.
All right.
What's your
fine.
favorite campfire story?
All right. I know it doesn't have the effect on me that it had as a kid, but it definitely had an effect for a while.
Okay.
I don't, without sitting down thinking about it beat for beat, but just that I feel like mine might be a combination of 2 stories. That might be one I don't remember. Where you're driving along and you think you keep on hearing a noise outside of your car. You think you keep on hearing a noise outside of your car.
Yeah.
And then there was a guy like in the back seat the whole time, but then when you get to your destination, you find that there was like a giant fish hook stuck into the door.
Oh, yes.
That freaked me out as a kid for years. And I even remember like early on when I got my license, for a long ass time, I'd get to my car and I would look into the back seat just to double check.
I still do that from time to time. And I'm a grown ass man.
I don't. But I think for a campfire story, yeah, like the guy who's either in your back seat or like hanging on the back of your car with a giant fish hook, like it's I know what you did last summer.
That's a good one. That's a good visceral one. I like the one about it's in the similar vein, but it's just using the sounds around your environment. So when the campfire goes out and you just hear the different sounds, it makes you think about what's out there, kind of like the supernatural.
It's not really a campfire story. That's just noises.
No, but you like the story revolves around like not leaving your campsite. You're kind of drawn by the noises, and the noises are like the noises of everyone who ever left their campsite, warning you not to leave your campsite. I just thought of another campfire story, by the way. You've never heard the one about the hitchhiker?
I don't know. I saw the movie The Hitchhiker.
Well, it's like
both the original and the remake.
Like this guy in the middle of the woods, and you just don't not quite like Slender Man, but if you drive by him and you're like, oh, I'm not going to pick him up. He's in the middle of the woods. But then he's like 10 miles down the road and he's bigger and he's getting closer and until he's finally in the middle of the road and you have to like stop your car. And then like your lights go out and your lights come back on. He's not there anymore.
Okay. I'll roll with that. There we go. There are your summertime campfire stories.
Now I'm terrified to drive home. I'm sleeping on your couch tonight. Can you check my back seat with me?
There's a big old hook in the side of your door.
Oh, damn it.
Maybe he was hanging on the whole time. Am I mixing up stories? Or
No, you're not. That is correct. The hook is a correct story. Yes.
Okay. Well, I guess that'll do it for this week.
It will. So if you enjoy the show, please help us out. Go to patreon.com/editorsnotecomics. $1 a month gets you this show a whole day early, plus you get spoiler and spoiler-free reviews of Firefly, Buffy, and Angel, which is a whole stack of them down here in front of the recording device.
Because I have to do another podcast after this.
Oh, well then we'll wrap this up quickly.
I did 17 minutes of it this morning. I need to do the rest.
Oh, well, there you go. $5 a month gets you this podcast early, the bonus podcast, Patreon exclusives. Plus, you can also be a Duke or Duchess of the podcast. You can visit Zach at 210 Water Street in Hollowell or online at editorsnotecomics.com. He also is on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
And you have a podcast and a Twitter.
Yes, the Coach's Room podcast comes out every other Monday. And then, of course, we will have me on Twitter at Junior Rich.
And that's it for this week. I don't remember what next week is. I know I've said Wonder Woman for the last couple of weeks. It's probably not Wonder Woman anymore. Probably something else now.
All right. Can't wait.
That one's going into podcast development hell. We'll do it eventually.
Just like the Star Wars Christmas special.
A little bit. That's the new one, the Wonder Woman script. But we'll be back next week for more.
Yeah.